Guys, what I have here is a surplus of succulents that I popped into the ground, and it just grew out of control. The majority of it is elephant food. It's actually edible. It has a tangy taste. Anyway, that's why it's called elephant food, because elephants can eat it in the desert. I'm gonna cut some of this stuff out, and I'm gonna propagate it in some containers because I have so many of them and I don't like to have them go to waste. Some of them I grow on my living wall, and I might do that, another living wall. This is all the plant matter I have, including a couple different varieties. This is how it looks cleaned up. There's still a couple big branches I gotta cut, but it's a lot cleaner. Hi friends, so I grabbed some of those florets from my succulents and I'm planting them into these cans that I have spray painted in pink, white, and Tiffany blue. And that way I can propagate a bunch of them, and all you have to do is just cut off the majority of the stem, leave about 3 or 4 inches of stem on the florets, and stick them into the dirt. And you don't have to water it for quite a while because they're supposed to heal and dry up, and then you can start watering them. And so it's safe to keep them in these cans. They won't rust so much and you don't have to water them very much. So that's great for succulents and cacti. And you can get a ton of plants from these, and I plan on dispersing them to my siblings and my friends and family. Another thing that I'm propagating are roses. So I have some cuttings here, and as you can see, it was just a stick. It was a stick before with no leaves whatsoever, hardly any, and it's creating new leaves here, new leaves there, new leaves there, and a single new leaf here or two. So, and then this one even looks promising, this stick. And then the other blooms right now I hope this little baby, Little Miss Piggy fig will live. I think it's called that. I forget. Oh, I'm sorry, Little Miss Figgy. And I have a calla lily, which I had not seen in several years because it's usually very hot and it doesn't, it just makes the leaves. So I thought it was a different kind of lily until I saw that it's the white one, which my parents gave me years ago. So lovely thing is it comes back year after year, but I just hadn't seen it bloom, and it looks gorgeous. And these will keep multiplying. They're great plants. The sweet peas are blooming, nice purples and blues. These are supposed to be snap peas, but I haven't seen any peas yet. But they're making lots of beautiful flowers for sure. Guys, I really love mums. So, just as you think that the mums are dying and turning yucky and everything, I could just cut this off. And down below, it's already starting a new round of leaves, and it's going to make more blooms and more branches. I love chrysanthemums. They're good in this. They're the only things that bloom in the winter, and they come back year after year. And I think they bloom. There's a fall season one, and this one, for some reason, I don't know if it's fall season because when I bought it, it was blooming in the fall. But I planted it in the ground, and it bloomed this year in the winter. And I have lettuce, Swiss chard, tatsoi, red, rhubarb chard, all looking great. So last year I did the same thing. I grew some nasturtium in my potted plant, my lychee plant, and it attracts those little aphids, the little black aphids. I'm not sure if they're aphids, but it attracts them like crazy, and I didn't want it to spread all over the garden, so I stopped watering the nasturtium, and I kind of like pulled it aside together and pulled it off and threw it away, and it must have reseeded itself. But if it keeps the pests away from my other plants, then it's a keeper. Back, my rosemary is blooming, love it, and it smells so good. So here are all my little baby perennials. Hopefully they come back. And here's my other chrysanthemum, and I just have to deadhead this stuff, and it's already making new leaves. It comes back year after year, and I love chrysanthemums, I'm telling you. They make lots of blooms, and they're beautiful, and they come back year after year, and they're reliable. Here's my rose. It's a hot pink, gorgeous flower. I love it. My bird chili's coming back. It's starting to have leaves, and I had chopped it to half its height, and I probably could have cut it down even more, but this year I plan on growing a lot of chili peppers, from spicy to sweet, to just to have in foods. My Gerbera daisies came back. I love them. They're perennial. The Jameson variety, they have the yellow flowers, gorgeous, and they're very sturdy, and they're very long lasting. It's already blooming, and it's still winter. I love it. Some of the citrus are starting to rebloom. So here is my Cara orange. It's making little baby flower buds, which when they open up, they smell so fantastic. My goji plant is coming back alive. It started to, the stems were bare, and it's starting to leaf again because the stems looked like this before, just dead looking sticks. Hi friends, so under this sterilite box is this apparatus. It's a styrofoam box, and in it I have my seedlings. I started my seedlings because I saw a video, I forget if it's from Grow It Build It or which channel, and they looked into how to grow tomatoes, and you can grow them a lot successfully early if you plant the seedlings, and you keep the temperature upwards of 70 plus degrees. You don't want to burn them, and you want to make sure that it's moist in there and humid and warm. So I have several versions of different tomato plants. I have vintage wine tomato, Kellogg's breakfast tomato, chocolate striped tomato, dark seaman tomato, and yellow stuffer tomatoes. So I've sown them in here. I've watered it. It's been about 3 days, and the styrofoam box is going to keep it insulated, and then to boot we want to keep the humidity. So I place this Sterilite box on top, Rubbermaid box, and it just kind of makes like a little bit of a greenhouse in there, as I don't have a greenhouse yet, kind of like a cold frame rather, and I'm hoping that I will see some plants pretty soon coming out of there. So that's an idea for y'all if you don't have that much room, or if you don't have like a heat box or a greenhouse, so a cold frame. So I just kind of made one. The bulbs are starting to bloom. I have a little cute little hyacinth here, Very beautiful. The rest of the bed's not doing too great. This is a cilantro plant that snuck in here. Another hyacinth, which looks like it may be purple or blue. My dahlias froze a little bit over this really cold winter and rainy weather. My garlic, onions, and shallots are doing fantastic. Unfortunately, this bed didn't do too well. I'm not really sure what the issue is, but I am getting a lot of cilantro, which I sowed a lot of seeds here. I threw my extra, I think it was onion or garlic bulbs in here, so they came up pretty well. Finally, it took a long time, but my tatsoi are growing. It struggled initially because it was really cold, and now it's starting to get bigger. I believe that's one sunflower. Some red Swiss chard, ruby Swiss chard. More of the Swiss chard over here. Look at that beautiful color there. It's gorgeous. Anyhow, I have tons of tatsoi. I've already harvested some for my congee. And I even threw a sunflower seed in here, I believe. And some, there's some spinach right there. Some green onions. More bulbs coming up. My peas are doing really well. Sweet peas, or whatever you call them. And society garlic's doing fantastic. And this is some fennel, a lot of greens, a lot of tatsoi and chard over there, all in that area that I grew in this space over the winter, as I had nothing growing right here. It's a gap in my food forest where I have a lot of trees, but when all the leaves fell off the trees and there were no fruit, might as well grow some vegetables underneath. My rosemary is blooming. It's making these beautiful purple flowers. I love it. And it smells so good.